UFC 264 goes down this Saturday, and it's headlined by the much-awaited Trilogy fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, while the co-main event is a clash between top welterweight contenders Gilbert and Stephen Thompson. UFC 264 also sees the return of fan favorite Sean O'Malley against Chris Moutinho, and you can watch it go down live by ordering UFC 264 pay-per-view, which will be exclusively available on ESPN+. So don't wait. Sign up for ESPN Plus by clicking the link in the description and order UFC 264 pay-per-view today.
Sean O'Malley says that he thinks Louis Smolka gave himself a staph infection intentionally after Smolka's manager saw Sugar in training. So here's what Sean O'Malley said.
Smolka's manager was at my gym. Not you, Fruit Loop, you're good. Watching me spar the other day, a couple weeks ago. And I was on fire. He asked him and I, respectfully, he said, hey, do you mind if I sit and watch? I looked him in the eyes and I said, enjoy the show. No, I didn't say that. I said, watch, tell him whatever you want, I don't care. And I looked fucking sharp that day. This is complete conspiracy theory. I looked sharp. I was on fucking fire, which I usually, sparring day for me is an opportunity to perform. In my head, it's the fight. I gotta perform. I gotta do what I do in the octagon. I gotta perform. And just another day. And I looked good. I looked really good. Did his manager go and say, hey, bud, I love you, don't take this fight. I don't want you to die. Might have. Smoke was licking fucking wrestling mats trying to get staph. I don't even know if it's a get staph. I don't know, dude. That's a conspiracy theory, so maybe that's what happened, maybe not. I don't blame the dude, you know what I mean?
O'Malley there, talking about Louis Smolka for pulling out of his fight. I mean, just take the fight against Chris Moutinho and shut the fuck up. Just go out there and beat Moutinho. That's what he needs to do. We said it last show. We don't want to talk about it. It's a tricky one for O'Malley. So it's a lose-lose situation. Or, yeah, it's kind of because if he beats him, he should have beat him. And if he doesn't beat him, it's not good. It's not good. And I think he will beat him, though.
So we got McGregor and Poirier 3 coming up. And, dude, Poirier all the way. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's the nicer guy. And he's my bro. I also think it's going to be not even close. He's going to crush McGregor. Yeah, dude. Go Diamond Dustin. Yeah.
Do you think Jake Paul's good enough now to beat Tyron Woodley?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. He's going to beat Tyron Woodley. This is the reason why, Mike. And I'm going to change your perspective here. Because boxing and MMA are two different things. Woodley just has an overhand. He's not a combination fighter. He just has that overhand. That overhand is vicious. But with the 8-ounce glove, a 10-ounce glove, you don't have that much power. This kid, Jake Paul, remember, he's a former wrestler. He's from Ohio. He's been wrestling for quite some time. And he's been around some of the best boxers for the last 3 years in the world. He's actually been taking this shit serious. So for that reason, I think Jake Paul's either going to stop him, depending on how, or he's just going to beat him by decision, because the sweet science of boxing is just a different game. I even called it with Ben Askren. I'm like, this kid's going to knock him out within the first or second round. I thought Ben for sure was going to last the round. I was wrong. He knocked him out in the first minute, So that's just the way it is, and that's just the way I see it. Now, it's not that I'm going against MMA. I've done both sports. I've done amateur boxing. That sport is different, bro. You can no longer grapple. It's not just about an overhand. It's different, man. You're going to need some combinations, son.
Well, I'm going with my boy Tyron just because he's my boy, and I know he's been boxing for a long time. I saw him at Wildcard years and years ago, boxing pro level, amateur level fighters. He was here doing pad work, doing great. So, I know he does have boxing training and he's experienced there, but I'm interested to see where Jake's going to be in this fight because it's a real fight, and hats off to him if he does good and can show that he really is a fighter and he has potential to keep going. I mean, I have no disrespect for Jake if he turns out to be everything that he, presents. Because I'm telling you, anyone that can do it, you have to have respect for. You can't dog a real fighter, and he's going to be a real fighter if he beats Tyron.
Yeah. But like I said, these are my takes. These are my takes from watching it, and Tyron hasn't done so well. Let's call a spade, man. He's been on the losing streak. You know what I'm saying? There's a chemical imbalance like in his head that has taken him to that level. You know what I'm saying? There's two reasons why my people don't succeed. There's one, they think they're better than what they really are, and then two, it's just a lack of confidence. So it's one or the other, man. He's gonna have to figure that out. Because I remember I seen Woodley when Woodley was on fire, he was on fire, But there's something there's a switch that tends to happen and I believe it happens after your first defeat, your first loss, when you finally see that you're not untouchable. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to honesty. Am I as good as I think I am, or is my confidence at that level as what it used to be? Those are the questions that I have for him.
We in Vegas, boys and girls. Trying to keep up with fast walkers here. Getting ready to get our weight cut on. I tripped on that one. Oh, alien right here. The alien stag. Here we go. Say something, baby.
We in Vegas, baby. UFC 264, we made it, and it's hot.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's the man, and he's got the style to beat Kamaru. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's Kamaru Usman sidestepping him and avoiding him and all the rest of it, because I just don't think Kamaru's that guy. Kamaru's a real champion. Kamaru's got real skills, and he's a problem, as he says, for everyone in the division. And I firmly believe that he feels that. But the only problem for Stephen, he's kind of been, in some ways, kind of a bit Leon Edwards-y. Out of the headlines, out of the spotlight. He's not controversial. The only time he does talk is to fucking say, gee golly, you're awesome, man. And he wouldn't swear either. He's just awesome. He's great. There's no controversy there. And he speaks all throughout his fighting ability. But he hasn't been in the headlines very often recently. But I understand his point, though, and I think he's right. He hasn't been that active, even though he just fought kind of recently. But I think Wonderboy should fight Kamaru if he wins this. And I'm, again, to your point, or my point, Kamaru's not ducking him. Kamaru's a very, very tough fight. He's the champion. He's pound for pound one of the very, very best in the world. But I think Wonderboy could give him some real problems. I do. Yeah, I think when you look at Kamaru, his hands have got better. He's got knockout power now. He's knocking people out. He's a tremendous wrestler. He trains well. He's always in condition. He doesn't really get tired. He's not one of those guys. He can go 5 rounds. But he's a static guy. And Wonderboy moves all over the place, in and out. And I feel that movement would give him so many problems. However, if Kamaru gets his hands on him, he'd probably be able to take him down. That was the idea with Woodley. Boxer, good wrestling, was able to take him down a little bit.
I believe Charles Oliveira is going to be in attendance. Is that correct? Is he going to fly to watch the fight?
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah, and is it safe to say, I mean, obviously he's looking at it that way, that this is a number one contender bout between Poirier and McGregor? He clearly looks like he wants the winner.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you look at, Poirier's number one, and in between Conor, you got Chandler, Gaethje, and Poirier and Dariush. It absolutely makes sense for this to be a number one contender fight.
It's a massive trilogy. We've had so many big trilogies: GSP Hughes, Edgar Maynard, off the top of my head, Cormier, Stipe. So many big ones. Where does McGregor Poirier stack up in your opinion?
This is going to end up being the biggest. This is going to be the biggest one. First of all, most celebrities ever to come to an event. Tickets are insane. I can't wait till this is over and I don't have to f around with tickets anymore. The buzz. I'm don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that this is the most pre-buys ever for any fight ever. So, if you're one of those people that on Saturday night you're going to buy the fight, buy it now. Buy it before, because when that night comes, the amount of people that are going to be trying to buy that thing at the same time, and the last thing you want to do is have any problems with it. Most pre-buys we've ever done.
Oh, wow. Do you know in terms of pay-per-view buys where it's trending? And
I'll know better Thursday or Friday.
Jake Paul's good enough now to beat Tyron Woodley?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. He's going to beat Tyron Woodley. This is the reason why, Mike. And I'm going to change your perspective here. Because boxing and MMA are two different things. Woodley just has an overhand.